The 9th episode already. Welcome back. In the third installment of Future and Finance, we showed you how to easily start with shares with a relatively small investment. Initially, an ETF, Exchange Traded Fund. We showed you how to get started with a diversified portfolio. We do this with an account at De Giro, an online stockbroker. By spreading your investment over several of these funds, you also spread the risk of this investment. A safe feeling, because you don't put all your eggs in one basket. This time, we want to look at an emerging ETF market focused on Asia. In this episode, I want to take a look at you with an ETF that focuses on emerging markets in Asia. As you saw in previous episodes, I've started investing in the Vanguard All-World ETF. At the end of May, I will be purchasing this ETF retroactively from the portfolio. Here behind me you see the overview at De Giro. You see that this ETF shows a small growth of 0.26% over the past month. With the Vanguard All-World ETF, we buy shares of companies all over the world. A large number of these companies are located in the US. With the ETF I want to show you today, we invest in the emerging Asian market. If we look at the Vanguard All-World ETF, we see that more than 55% of the shares originate from the United States. In the further spread, we see Japan at number 2. The ETF I'll be covering today is available from De Giro and is part of the core selection, which means that once a month you don't need to pay any transaction costs. This is a huge plus and could potentially save you a lot of money. The ETF in question, which focuses on Asia, can be found under the ticker symbol EMAE. This ETF, SPDR EM Asia, as pictured behind me, was created in 2011 to measure the performance of approximately 9 emerging markets in Asia. The ETF has a 5-year annualized return of just under 13%. Even in the pandemic year 2020, this ETF managed to achieve a return of more than 28%. This ETF has a medium risk. Behind me, you can see a selection of the companies in which you invest through this ETF. Many countries in Asia are growing rapidly. China is taking many steps to become a world-class player in the near future. Whether they will actually succeed in this remains to be seen, but I personally have a lot of confidence in the Chinese economy. In this ETF, China is a very large player, with a whopping 49%, followed by Taiwan and Korea with more than 16%. This ETF consists of 859 shares and pays out a dividend of 1.57%. Dividend is a profit distribution to the shareholders. I have a lot of interest in the 2 largest positions within this ETF, namely the Alibaba Group and Tencent Holdings. You might have heard of the Alibaba Group. Tencent Holdings is a technology company known for WeChat, the Chinese WhatsApp, among other things. If we look at the risk, we see that the top 4 positions make up no less than 27% of this ETF. And in reality, that's the only major risk. The distribution of various sectors is very good, as many different sectors are represented. Precisely because I have a lot of confidence in the emerging markets in Asia myself, I've chosen to add this ETF to my portfolio. If you're researching ETFs yourself and find any hidden gems from these emerging markets, leave them in the comment section of this video. It's certainly nice to see what you, as the viewer, come up with, and I most certainly look forward to it. I chose this ETF partly because it's part of the De Giro core selection. Again, once every month, you won't have to pay transaction costs for the ETFs offered in the De Giro core selection, which can save a few euros on every transaction and will therefore not affect your return. Simply Google De Giro core selection PDF and you will find an overview of all the ETFs that fall within this core selection. You can see that the ETF we cover today, SPDR EM Asia, is offered on Euronext Paris. Please pay attention to this when purchasing it. Sometimes an ETF is offered on different exchanges, but not all of these ETFs are within De Giro's core selection. If you buy on the wrong exchange, you will, in all probability, still pay transaction costs. With this ETF, we are diversifying our portfolio yet again. There are still a number of interesting ETFs that I would like to take a look at with you next time. So make sure you don't miss anything. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. we'll upload a new crypto video, and every Friday, the same time, a video about trading online stocks. See you at the next episode.